Hey guys, so in this video I've got 3 different knives that I'm going to be using and I'm going to fillet up 3 different fish, and I'm going to let you know what knife I like to use the best out of them.
But first, we gotta go catch some fish. Let's go. Pro tip: when a buddy asks you to go fishing, you drop everything and you go. This is my buddy Joe. He had me out on his boat and we caught some really tasty salmon. It's nothing like getting up while it's still dark and hitting the salt water. I grew up fishing these waters with my grandpa, so it just feels so good getting back out there with a buddy of mine. And of course, don't forget to snag the subscribe button.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Alright, I got my little people helping me get these fish over to the cleaning station.
So I've got this Victorinox, and this is pretty flexible. It's actually not a fillet knife, it's a breaking knife, but I thought I'd give that a try. And then I've got this Victorinox, and hopefully I'm saying it right. This one's more flexible, but it's not quite as flexible as a good old Rapala fillet knife. This one is really flexible. So I'm going to make sure that these are all good and sharp. These ones are brand new, so these will be nice and sharp. I'm going to sharpen this one up with the steel, and then I'm going to fillet 3 fish. Now, I am not going to show you guys how to fillet fish. There's a lot of other videos out there that show you how to fillet a salmon. I'm not going to show you that. I'm just going to tell you what knives I like the best. Alright, so this Victorinox fillet knife is the first one that I used. I'm actually really impressed with this. I was really skeptical because it's a pretty stiff knife, but I actually found that I liked the stiffness of this when I went to cut through the bones on the last one here. It was flexible enough that I was able to really get down in there and peel everything back the way that I like to, but it was still stiff enough to where when I needed to cut through the rib bones, it went right through it. So some people like to fillet with the rib bones in, some people like to fillet with the rib bones out. So I tried it both ways with this, and I found it to work pretty well for both. So pretty happy with that.
So I started off with the Rapala here and quickly found that it just wasn't working for me. So I went back to the Victorinox. I'm really starting to like this Victorinox. What I found with the Rapala was the blade was just too short to really do what I needed it to do. And when it got to the rib bones, it was so flexible that it didn't really want to pull a straight line through all the rib bones. Now this is the biggest salmon that we caught, and so I thought, well, let's try the breaking knife on it since that's the biggest knife. Now, I found the breaking knife to work really well for cutting the head off and for gutting it, getting through the larger bones. Really didn't work well at all for filleting. I thought it wasn't flexible enough. It might work really well for filleting something like a bigger fish, you know, if you're doing like a ahi tuna or a marlin, or if you're doing a halibut maybe. So once again, I found myself using the Victorinox fillet knife and absolutely loving it.
Alright guys, here are my thoughts on these knives. This is a perfect knife for filleting fish. This is a great knife for cutting off heads and gutting the fish. If you're gonna go with the Rapala, get the longer one if you're doing big fish. This will work fine for smaller fish, little rock fish and whatnot, but this one was a little bit undergunned for the size of fish that I was doing, I thought. Should you spend the money to get a nicer knife? Yes, I would definitely say so. Use something like that, you're gonna really chop it up bad. This made it a lot easier. The fillets that I did with this actually looked pretty decent. and it was a lot faster. So there you have it. I hope that helps you guys out. If you want any of these knives, check out the link below. I'll have them for you there.
Thanks for checking out Nateness TV. It's just my life.